My name is Josh Hudson, and I am the creator of Clash of Warriors. I've always been looking for a game to get my friends involved with. I'm a role player, I love video games, I love board games, but a lot of my friends aren't into that kind of stuff really at all. But they are into cards. They love spades, different cards, games, poker, and stuff like that. So, what I wanted to do is I wanted to invent a game that has poker and card elements, but also role playing and fantasy elements as well. This game happens to be more of medieval than fantasy, but what I wanted to do was meld those so I could get a game that I like to play and a lot of my friends like to play as well. And I think that this game is going to be kind of a crossover game where it's going to hit and people are going to like it that are more like not into the gaming crowd. And then those that are gamers, there is like so much strategy in this game and so much to think about, so much teamwork when you play with multiple players that I really feel like there's going to be some awesome. I'm still developing my own strategies for the game because there's so many ways that you can go, so many player styles for the game. It's just really excited. I'm excited. I want everybody to play this because Clash of Warriors truly is an awesome, brand new game, and I want the world to play it. Okay, so today I'm going to do a tutorial on how to play Clash of Warriors. The game's a lot more fun with 4 people, but for this demonstration, I'm only going to do 2 people. Okay, 2 players. Okay, this is what you're going to need to play the game. You're going to need player mats, dice, 2 dice for each player. When you're starting out in the game, you're going to need 2 tokens here, or counters. You're going to need 8 equipment cards. I have a little more than 8 here. And you're going to need a deck of regular playing cards. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do in Clash of Warriors is create your warrior. Okay, now these say fighter, fighter. This is because this is the prototype. The real one's going to say warriors. So I'm just going to fill out my fighter name for one of the fighters. Call him Tough Guy. Clan name, the Truth. Alright, next guy, fighter name, Superman. And clan name, Soldiers. Okay, so then after that, the next thing we're going to do to make the characters is roll for the ability. Alright, so 4, that's wind ability. Alright, and this guy's going to roll, let's see, what do you roll? 2, water. Now I'll explain what the abilities do a little bit later. I'm not going to get in depth in all the abilities, but when we use them, we're going to use them. Okay, so those are ready. And these character sheets for your warriors go on player mats. Next thing, you're going to place the counters. At the beginning of the game, when the character is not leveled up, everyone starts at 10 health. And then you got 1 level 1 ability. So 1 wind ability, level 1. This guy's got 1 water ability, level 1. Okay, so next we're just going to take these stat modifiers, place them away. Different equipment cards, weapon cards will affect stats as well. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to deal out the cards. I've already shuffled these. So the way you deal out the cards is take out the jokers and make 4 piles of equal amount. 13 cards in each pile. I'm not the fastest dealer, but One of the awesome things about Clash of Warriors is the familiar mechanics. Everybody loves a good card game. And Clash of Warriors is built around a pretty cool card game. Okay? So, after this, we're going to set these aside. And what we're going to do is we are going to roll dice to see who has the initiative, who goes first. Okay? 3 and 7. Okay, so 7 wins. So this guy goes first. What he's going to do is he's going to pick his stack of cards out of these 4. He'll pick this stack. This guy's going to pick this stack. Alright, and then this stack will become the discard. We'll put this right here. Okay? Then what we're going to do is we are going to place our equipment cards in the middle. So we got a club, a knife, heavy shield, light shield, heavy armor, critical hit, precision, another club, knife. Okay, so let's see, is this enough? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, that's cool. Alright, so the player with the initiative gets to pick the first stack, and then he also, or she also, get to pick the first equipment card. So, heavy armor. This is a rare card. And then, this guy's going to pick heavy shield. Light shield. Light armor. Okay, let's see what's next. This guy's going to pick this mace right here for a weapon. And then this guy's going to pick a technique card, critical hit. It's going to go with another weapon, knife, and this guy's going to get a club. Okay, and these 2 cards are not going to be used. Alright, so there's 2 ways to do equipment cards. The first way is the way that you've seen, alright, and what that is people, the players bring their equipment cards, put them in the middle, or one player brings the equipment cards that came with the game, puts them in the middle, and, you know, whatever player roll for the initiative or to move first in the game picks, and then it goes back and forth between teams. Back and forth between teams and players. So say player 1 and 2 are on team 1, player 3 and 4 are on team 2. So player 1 on team 1 would pick, player 3 on team 2 would pick, player 2 on team 1 would pick, and then player 4 on team 2 would pick, and it would go back and forth. So it rotates between, it switches between teams, and it switches between players in the team. That's also the order of gameplay. But for here, it's just back and forth between the teams because there's only 2 players. Okay, so the next thing that we would do is each player, and they can do this before they pick their cards too, which actually might be a little bit smarter. So what we're going to do now is we are going to make poker hands out of these cards. Okay, so this is probably upside down for you, but let me try to do it from this angle maybe a little better. So right now we have 3 kings. I'm going to put that here. Probably should have shuffled a little better, but you get the idea. And then, so you got singles, pairs, 3 of a kind, 3 card straights, and 4 of a kind are the possible hands. Okay, so let's see if we have any doubles here. We do. So we have the doubles here, and the cards are like your stamina. You're going to use your cards to attack. You're going to use your card hands to block. Okay, so let's just keep moving along here. Let's see, pair of jacks. That's good. It's a good hand. An ace, a queen, 9, and a 3. So that's for that one. I'll be right back. I'm gonna get this guy's hand. All right. Pair of aces. Let's see, any straights? No. I don't see one right now. Pair of sevens. Pair of sixes. Pair of fours. Pair of nines. A lot of pairs on this hand. Low pairs. And that high pair there too. Okay. So now each player has their hands. And the player of the initiative goes first. So this guy's going to go first. So, let's see. So we're going to play a hand in order to attack. Now if I want to, I can play a weapon card with a hand. Or if I have an offensive ability, I can use the offensive ability with a hand. I can't use an offensive ability and a weapon card in the hand if the offensive ability does damage as well. So what I'm going to do is, right off the bat, I'm going to go for the jugular on this guy. I'm going to play 3 kings and a mace. Okay? So, let's look at this guy's hand. What does he have? No, he doesn't have 3 of a kind. So the way that attacking and blocking works is this. If he throws a 3 of a kind, I can only block a 3 of a kind with another 3 of a kind, or 4 of a kind. 4 of a kind can block or be played against anything, okay? And it beats anything. So so that 3 of a kind, I have nothing for that. I have this heavy shield card. It auto blocks a pair, but it does no good against 3 of a kind. I do have a light armor card, which halves the damage that I'll take. I'm gonna play this light armor card. Okay, and we are going to go to a damage roll. Okay, so here we go. 5. So the attacker rolls, if the attacker hits, in which case this guy hit, roll 2 dice against 1 die. 6. Alright, wow. So this light armor was pretty much wasted since 6 beats 5, except a mace, if it's not blocked, it does 2 concussion damage. Alright? It's a stat modifier. Effects of weapon effects go through armor. They don't go through shields or blocks. Okay? So, here we go. Toughness is now -2, which means on this guy's next defensive roll, this 6 would be a 4. And he would have taken 1 damage if that had taken place. We're going to get rid of these, take them out of play, and now it's this guy's turn. Okay, so let's see what he's going to do. Well, he's got that double ace. Maybe you want to save it. Maybe we want to break it up into singles. No, we don't. He has this auto block a single. So this shield auto blocks a single. He also has a heavy armor, which does no damage. So I can use this double ace to try to get through this heavy armor. But you know what? I think I'm not going to do that. I'm going to start out with a low pair. I'm going to try to get this guy to throw his heavy armor, to use his heavy armor on something other than my aces eventually. Okay? So, let's go. See if we have anything for that. He just happens to have a pair of 4s. Alright? He's going to play that. Now, a pair of 4s against a pair of 4s is a block. Okay? A block can be equal to or higher than the hand. And remember, it has to be a pair versus a pair. He doesn't want to use his heavy armor on such a low pair. So he's going to let that one go. Now, I can do a follow-up attack if I can match suits on this pair of 4s. If I have a pair that matches suits here, a diamond and a spade, I can do a follow-up attack, but I don't. I don't have that, so that was blocked. It was a good block. Alright. Back to this player's turn. Alright, let's see. What am I going to do here? Well, I think I'm going to try to get him to bite and use that heavy shield. See if he'll use it on... that's a little too early for that. I'm going to go with my ace. He has a shield that auto blocks a double, a pair, but he can't really do anything against that ace unless he has another ace. Now here comes the decision making. Does he want to break up his ace? He can't block it with his shield. By the way, players can only have one shield at a time, so you can either have a, you know, in this setup with these cards, you could either have this single shield or block a double pair, but you can't cover the whole gamut with shields. So you can only have one. So let's see. I want to block this ace. Is he gonna do it? Yeah, he's gonna have to. All right. Well, broke up that pair. Okay. Not bad. And since this guy doesn't have another, he can't have anything higher than an ace, it's just gonna let that go. Now it's his turn. So you see how the game kind of goes back and forth like that. You're trying to figure out what your opponent has. You can see the cards that they have. Actually, let me tell you something about the cards. Large cards up in here. I'm gonna get this put in white boldface. Here it says face up, faintly in the corner of these cards. So large items that your opponents would be able to see, like armor and shields, and a large weapon, would be face up. Something small like this, like a knife, which could be concealed, would be held face down. Okay. Same with techniques. Techniques are face down. This club is big enough that it has to be face up. You can't be walking around with a huge club under your clothes. Okay? So that was something that I should have done, but failed to do. Okay, so what I'm thinking is I'm gonna try to go with another pair. Because I want to try to get this guy to bite with this heavy armor. So we're gonna attack again with a pair. Remember, he has this shield which auto blocks a single. That's no bueno. Don't want to use that. Okay? Wow. So I am either going to have to play this pair of jacks, or there's something else that I can do. Water ability has the ability to turn a single into a pair into a triple into a straight. And that's as far as it goes. You can't make a four of a kind out of a straight. But the water ability is pretty cool. I think I'm going to save it for use on an offensive attack. Maybe turn these jacks into 3 jacks to get around this this heavy shield. In fact, that's what I'm going to do. So I don't want to use my jacks here. So what I'm going to do is I am going to use my heavy armor, and it worked. He got me to use my heavy armor. Okay? So heavy armor takes no damage. He didn't use a weapon. Weapon effects go through armor. Didn't use that. He wasn't sure if, or I wasn't sure if he was going to block it. But since he didn't block it, I could have played this club and would have taken, would have stat modified me to toughness -1 from the club. But instead, we're just going to go to damage rolls here. Or actually, we're not going to go to damage rolls, excuse me, because heavy armor blocks all damage. Okay, so that's a wrap. It worked. Okay. Got me to use my armor. Alright, but now I don't think this guy has a 3 of a kind. So instead of using my jacks, I can play my jacks as single cards and still get around this shield. I think I'm going to turn my 5s into 3 5s, okay? And since this guy doesn't have any armor, we already got rid of that, I'm going straight in for the kill here. So, alright, since my ability doesn't affect damage, I can use a weapon with this ability, okay? So we're going to use my water ability. That now becomes 3 5s. We're coming through with a knife, and I'm going to try to hurt this guy. Okay, so let's just check the cards again. No 3 of a kind. This guy's special ability is wind. If it was water, I could make a 3 of a kind, but I can't. My shield won't block it. I'm taking damage. Oh, blunt weapons do concussion damage. Okay. Oh, this guy has -2 toughness, so his damage roll is going to be hindered. All right. So this is a knife, does 1 auto damage. Okay, so we're going to use that knife. Boom. Health is down 1 even before damage rolls. Okay, that's what the knife does. All right, so here we go. 5. Okay. 2. But remember, he has -2 toughness because he got hit with this guy has a concussion. The way to get rid of concussions is to rest. We'll subtract that to -1, but that does skip a turn. So we opted not to do that because we still have a lot of health. But now he does take 5 damage in addition. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Down to 4 damage. It's not looking good for the guy with the double aces here. Things are working out not in his favor. But let's see, it's his turn now. What's he gonna do? He's gonna use his wind ability. Okay? That's what he's gonna do. Now, wind ability allows you to attack 2 times in the same turn. So here we go. And we are coming with pairs. The first pair I'm going to throw is a double 7. And see what we got for that. Am I going to use my pair of jacks? Or am I just going to take damage? You know what? It's crazy, but I'm going to save those jacks for offense. I'm going to take a risk and just take this damage. I know another attack's coming. Well, that went over well. No damage. 5 beats 2. Luck of the roll. All right, so that really paid off. And for my second attack, I can't play a single card, or I know this ace would get through. I have to go with my pair. And I'm going to act like I don't know what that guy has. I'm going to play this club. But I did not know that he had a pair of jacks. So he's going to block with the pair of jacks. Okay, and that club is nullified because it was blocked before it got to armor or got straight to me. Wow. Things are not going in this dude's favor. Alright, but now it's his turn. So what's he going to do? Doesn't know that he has an ace. Doesn't know that he has a queen. Doesn't know he has... It's not looking good. I'm going to show you what he's going to do. Instead of... well, he's got him on the ropes, though. I think he would play the queen. Okay? He would play his queen. But... it's going to get blocked. Queen. I'm not going to play the ace. All I need to do is play the queen to block that. Alright, so as you see, they're getting less and less cards. That's because in a fight, of course, or anything you do, your stamina goes down. Less stamina, so the amount of cards that you have, the higher the hand, the more stamina that's being used to attack or block. Alright, and then the strength of the card would probably be, is the skill of the attack. So that's kind of helps you understand the role that the cards play. Alright, so he's not going to waste his ace on this light shield, but he is going to play his 8. Alright, he's thinking this guy probably can't block it. Now, but this guy wants to use his cards to attack, right? So he's going to use his light shield on this 8 anyway. That's just what he decided to do. We'll see if it was a smart move. Well, we know it wasn't a smart move. But so he plays a single card, his 9, hoping this guy is running low. He has an ace. Gonna block it with an ace. All this guy has is a 3. Doesn't think it's going to get through, so what he does is he rests. Now, resting does a lot of things. Resting will subtract, we skip your turn, okay, when you rest. But what it does is it subtracts all stat modifiers by 1. If you're below 7 health, you get 1 additional health. So say I had a healing item, I could use that at 7 or at 7, and I could continue getting up to my max health. But by resting, you can only get back to 7. Also, what it does is if you have less than 5 cards, you get a card back. So you can never get more than 5 cards once you've gone below. So he's going to rest, and he will take 1 card. Nice. A jack. This guy is going to rest, but for him, resting does a lot more. He gets a card. It's a 7. Okay? And what he does is his toughness modifier goes to -1, and because he's below 7, he gets 1 health back. But now, it's my turn. Let's see. I'm going to go in for the kill with this jack. Can he do anything? No, he cannot. So we're going to damage rolls. And this might be the end. This is not looking good. A 9. I got to get a 5 or a 6, I think. 2. Not good enough. Lost 7 health. Down. So even though I had this shield, it only blocks doubles or pairs. Didn't do anything so bad. What we do now is we find out what's going to happen to this guy. Okay, so basically this man, or this warrior, is unconscious at this point. Now what I can do is I'm either going to kill this guy or give him mercy, all right? Now mercy is, I'm going to allow him to keep his character sheet, all right? Tough guy will live. He will get experience of surviving 1 fight, okay? But say he brought his own cards to the table. He was playing with his own equipment cards, okay? And after the game, I was like, I'll give you mercy, but you have to give me one of your equipment cards. No. Okay. So you're not going to do that? All right. Then I'm going to kill you. Or you could just choose to kill him right off the bat. Now, killing it's an in-your-face thing. This is an in-your-face game. You actually, the winning player will take the character and crumple it up, put it here as a trophy for the next match, tear it in half, toss it to the side, whatever. In your face. Killed you. Now, some of you might feel like that's a little bit excessive, but it's really fun when you play with a bunch of people. Tensions are high, and it really makes that other person want to get back in the game and get some revenge. But anyway, that's a really quick run through of Clash of Warriors. I hope you enjoyed it, and I wish I could get more into detail about all the game mechanics, and you could see those taking place. It's a simple game. It's easy to get a hang of, and it's awesome. So I wasn't able to show some of the gameplay mechanics that I wanted to bring out with just 2 players. So I have 4 players here. Clash of Warriors can be played by any amount of players. I like 2-on-2 the best for game time, and also you're able to use teamwork, and that's one of the best parts of the game. But also you can have 6 players, 3-on-3. You can have 4-on-4. I've had some really good games of 4-on-4. That's also very fun, and 1-on-1's fun as well. But for right now, we're doing 4-on-4, and I've kind of stacked the decks. I've created the hands just to highlight one of the game mechanics, which is counters and follow-ups. So let's take a look. the order of play is going to go this this player, this player, this player, this player, and that's how it would go in the game. So let's see what he has. All right. So we'll say I'm going to attack this player on the other team with a pair of nines, which are a heart and a diamond. Okay. So now if I play a higher hand of heart and diamonds, it is a counterattack. Okay. So at this point, I'm going to play this. Now my attack is back on this player. I'm going to play that. Now it's a counterattack back. Okay, so I don't have anything in my hand that can block this. But let's see if my teammate does. Okay, and my teammate does. So this is not going to be a counter if I'm able to jump in. It's only going to be a block. Why? Because the suits are not matching. So in order to jump in on their fight, I'm going to roll. I got a 2. Now, this player, if he ties it or higher, he kicks this guy out, and we continue to fight here, okay? And the reason why is because the advantage goes to the person that's in the fight, not the person trying to jump in. 1, there you go. And that's how it goes. So this player is now able to play, he's able to jump in. And the fight is between us now, because I had a successful jump in roll, okay? So this is coming. If I don't want to throw my kings, let's see, maybe my friend wants to jump in, and he just has low cards. Okay, so say this guy had the heavy shield, okay, and he wants to jump in. This guy wants to save his kings. You can talk to you can even show your cards to your teammates. It's really, there's a lot of talking going on and deciding amongst teams what you're going to do. Okay, during the game. So this guy is going to try to jump in so this guy can save his kings. Remember, the fight's here. So he will roll 6. Now this character, or this player, has to roll. He has to get a 6. Remember, to tie, to beat him out. Got a 3. All right, so you can jump in and play this heavy shield. He can. Also, if you wanted to jump in, say he had 10 health, this guy only has 2. This guy doesn't have a heavy shield. He doesn't have anything that can block it. He can try to jump in and just take the damage for the other player. Now, say that the jump in was unsuccessful, right? So I was unable to jump in. Or my roll, say he rolled a 3. I rolled a 1, so this player wasn't able to jump in, and the attack goes through. At this point, I can't throw my kings. If I let another player jump in for me, and the jump in is unsuccessful, that's it. We're going to damage rolls. On a damage roll, I could play an armor, I could use an ability, I can play an equipment card for that damage roll. But I can't block with one of my hands if I allow one of my friends to attempt, or my teammates to attempt, to jump in. Okay? So that is how that works. Now let's take a look at a follow-up attack. Okay? And I'll show you how that works. Let's see what cards we have here. Okay. All right. So now say this player is attacking this player here, okay? And I play a pair of 6s. Now this player blocks it with a pair of kings, okay? Now I'm the attacker. This is no longer, he blocked it. So just the same way that a counter would work, a follow-up attack matches suits. So he blocked my pair of sixes. I can still follow up on my attack if I can match suits and get higher. So it works just like a counter, but a counter is coming from a defensive hand, and a follow-up attack is coming from the offensive hand. So I can play that again, and that's a follow-up attack. Now, follow-up attacks are good, but counters are better. And the reason why is, if you're countering, you can potentially, if you counter somebody, if you're countering somebody, you can, I'm going to play, say this guy attacked me with, let's see, say he had, say this guy's attacking me, okay? I counterattack. This guy goes to block that with a pair of aces. What I've done with that counter is I've caused him to use 4 cards, and I've only used 2 cards. So even if a counterattack is not successful, you don't think it's going to get through, it's always good to counter and try to figure out what cards are left, or what cards players might have in order to use a counter. Also, conserving your cards to try to get that counter is better, because now this player is out 4 cards. I'm only out 2. I'm conserving stamina by countering. So I hope that it was clear how we saw jumping in works, right? There's a jump in roll, and then countering and follow-ups. And with this, counters and follow-ups and jumping in, no player is really sitting on the sidelines during another player's turn. So let's talk a little bit how to advance your warrior in Clash of Warriors. Alright, you can advance by getting experience. You can get experience for surviving a fight, surviving a battle. A battle uses a game board. If you survive a battle, you also get 1 fight experience and 1 battle experience. Also, you get an experience point for killing your opponent or giving your opponent mercy. Now, Tough Guy here has survived 1 fight and killed 1 opponent. So he's ready to level up. Whenever you get 2 experience points, you can cash them in to level up in strength, toughness, or health. So let's see what he gets. A roll of 1 and 2 will give you strength, 3 and 4, toughness, and 5 and 6, health. So he levels up in strength. Okay? Now, what strength means is that he now has +1 for his offensive damage roll. Okay, so his offensive damage roll is a 6, it now becomes 7. For toughness, it's the same thing, +1 for your defensive damage roll. And then health is starting health. So instead of, if he has +1 health, he starts at 11 health instead of 10. And by using equipment that heals, he can get back to 11 during the game. Okay, so say he gets in 2 more fights and has 2 more kills. Now, let's see what he gets, strength, toughness, or health. Okay. All right. Now, when a warrior advances 3 times in any of these categories, he also gets a level 2 ability. And in the instructions, it talks all about what the abilities are. Level 1, level 2, and level 3. So let's say he keeps fighting and keeps advancing. Okay. So now he has, actually, he should have advanced again. So let's see. 1, 2, 3. All right. So he should have advanced here. 1, 2, 3. Okay. All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. There's 9 squares. So he can advance 9 times. So let's just do it. All right, 1. And okay, imagine that. Now, when a warrior gets his second 3, he also gets a level 3 ability. Okay. Now let's continue to roll. Okay, 3. When a warrior gets to the end of this first block, in either strength, toughness, or health, he cannot go into the second block until all the first block is filled. So now, to get his strength would take a 1 through 3, and health would be 4 through 6. Okay, and now you don't even need to roll. Okay, so once the first block is filled, if a character continues to advance, then you get into the second block. At that point, the character or the warrior becomes legendary. And I haven't quite figured out what that means, except that it's another tier, bragging rights. Maybe 2 legendary fighters are fighting each other, warriors are fighting each other, and so on. But that is advancing your fighter, your warrior, sorry, in a nutshell. And it's pretty simple, pretty straightforward, and it's lots of fun. And one of the greatest things about Clash of Warriors is because you can advance your warrior and use them from one game to a next. Not only do you power up and you have an advantage over your opponents, powering up all the warriors in your clan, you'll be able to take on another clan and have the advantage there. But also, when your warrior dies or gets defeated, it really stings when you get a warrior that you've advanced killed. And it's an incentive to want to try to get mercy. Well, you'd want to do anything to get that mercy, whether it be offer up cards or, whatever. But it just adds another really cool dynamic to the game.